So, as Milton mentioned, there are different ways for you to start setting up your virtual visit clinic. And one of which is the free VSee clinic. So if you want to set up real quick, all of this actually you can set up in a matter of minutes. Just yesterday, we had one of our partners actually requested to set up 41 VSee clinics in like 2 hours, and it's fairly easy to set up, and we were able to deliver that. So what I'm showing you right now is what the free VSee clinic looks like. So you can set it up, go to our website, create your free VSee clinic, and as I mentioned, it can be done like 5 to 10 minutes. It's pretty simple and straightforward. It's mainly a walk-in waiting room, and the part here, the description of your clinic can be edited, so you can customize that. And then you can just immediately share this with your patients. So a lot of our clients use just the waiting room functionality, especially if you have your existing EMR, where you do most of your scheduling, billing, and everything else. Then you can continue to use that, and then direct your patients to go to your virtual clinic for the visit. So we do have a mobile app, so they can download the VSee Clinic app, and then they just need to enter the room code that you give them, and they'll be able to access your waiting room. And also, we recently launched an in-browser option, so they'll be able, the patients who are on, say, their laptops or computers, they can log in. They don't need to download any app, and then their video will just launch, and then they'll be able to see the provider. So how does that look like for the patient side? It's pretty simple, as I mentioned, and straightforward. Patient just clicks on enter waiting room. And then they don't even need to sign up. It's up to them if they want to sign up with an email, or they can just proceed as guest. And then they just fill in their name. So this is a standard intake form. We can customize it as well, depending on your requirements. And then as you can see here, there's a link to the consent for the telemedicine consultation. So we do have a standard consent form, but it's also up to you if you want to customize that. We can do that as well. And then once you hit continue, the patient's video screen will launch, and they'll be able to wait, and they will wait for the provider to start the visit. Okay, so that's just the most basic VSee clinic, the free VSee clinic. Yeah, so this, what I'm showing you right now is the standard VSee clinic. This allows you to, as you can see, you can brand it with a logo. This unique URL, you can link it to the website. So when your patients go to the website, they click on that link and they'll be brought to your virtual clinic page. And as you can see here, aside from the walk-in option, they now have the option to book an appointment. Again, these features you can turn on and off depending on the requirements. Now, this setup is what a lot of our partners are doing, because their setup is they have a lot of providers who are available whenever a patient walks in. Whoever among the providers can initiate the call. So I'll enter now as a patient. So you can see how it looks like when I enter as a patient, and then the provider launches the video call. Okay, so this is our light EMR, so patients can update their medical information. Again, these features we can turn on and off. If you have an existing EMR, EHR you're working with, then you won't need to use this. Okay, so as you can see, my GoToWebinar is just using my camera, so VSee can't launch it, but basically this is how it would look like on my end as a patient. And then as you can see also here, hold on, I have so many windows open. Okay. Right, so there you see the provider has initiated the call. As Milton mentioned as well, you can do screen share, so you can show that real quick. Okay, so we can do screen share and annotation. Maybe discuss, during the consultation, the provider can show any image or any file or any application to assist with the visit. All right. Then after the consultation, my provider can just end the call. Okay, and then we do have a standard post-visit survey where I can basically, give my feedback. And then if I want to receive like a summary of the visit patient instructions from my provider, I can type in my email and I will receive the visit notes. Okay, so that's the patient side. Now I want to go ahead and show you how it looks like for the provider's end. Okay, so for this particular clinic, as I mentioned, this is the setup that many of our partners use right now for their COVID-19 solution. So they have 10 to 20 providers in one clinic, similar to this one. And then all of them can log into one waiting room dashboard. So right now I'll log in as a provider. And this is what the provider's dashboard would look like. So you would see like all the patients waiting in the waiting room. And then, so this dashboard will be seen by all the providers who log in. And in case, one of the providers start the visit with the first patient in the queue, it will already be under the in progress column so that the other providers would know which patient to reach out to next. Now, like a lot, as I mentioned, some of our partners who are using this solution, they utilize what we call the CSR workflow or the customer service representative. Basically, we also give their staff, their front desk, or maybe their nurse, access to this waiting room, and it just allows them to first engage with the patient, maybe do the initial screening, fill up a form. For some, they just use it for just checking the audio and the video. And then once that's done, they can return the patient in the queue and tag them as ready for the physician. So on the physician side, they will be able to see that tag and they can start the call with the patient. So I want to show you how it looks like when I start the call with a patient. Okay, so this just basically allows me, this is where I can take notes. Again, you can opt to just use your existing HR. The VSee video is separate from any browser or webpage, so they can, I mean, you can actually open up your existing HR and type your notes in there directly. You can also chat with the patient. And then to start the call, just click on the camera icon. Okay, so there you go. So now I see the patient, Kristen. By the way, whenever a patient walks into the waiting room, you will receive a notification on your VSee app that a patient is waiting. You get an alert sound as well as a notification via SMS. And then I do have the option, again, if you want, if you're a CSR and you want to pass the patient or return the patient in the waiting room, ready for the provider. You can keep them in the waiting room, or you can proceed to checking out, to check out the patient.
Yeah, the concept of CSR or customer service reps is something we strongly recommend, especially if you're in a bigger practice in this, because that will essentially show your doctor and nurse to allow them to be more efficient. Nina, I think we're wrapping up in about 4 minutes. Maybe you could quickly show the remote patient monitoring.
This is what the remote patient monitoring dashboard looks like for the provider side. Similar to, or basically what Milton mentioned, the patients can have these devices at home, and they can just use it as they usually do, but it is automatically, or we can configure it to link to the VSee Clinic dashboard, and it will allow the providers to see in real time, like the device data uploaded to your dashboard, so you can review. It can also be arranged in different alert levels, so you would know like which patients need to attend to sooner. So this is just an example of how the dashboard would look like for you, and the different devices that can be used right now.
Yeah, and we had different layout, things like compact layout, different ways. So this will allow you to, in the case of maybe the monitoring versus like you want to drill deep on a smaller population versus bigger. So there are different layouts that allow you to be very efficient to be able to handle these cases.